Man. If you stick around till the end, I will hopefully be able to have enough time to answer some questions. Once I start reading, I'm not going to really pay much attention to what's going on in the comments section until I finish. I do have some things happening today, so that I'm not absolutely sure that I'll be able to have time to answer questions or objections at the end, but I'll give it a shot if I can. And so here we go. Chapter 9, Belief Systems. Who decides the truth, God or man? By the way, you can order the book on Amazon, on either Audible or paperback or ebook, and the link is found in the description. All right, here we go. Belief Systems, Chapter 9, Death, Destiny, and the Refusal to Look Away. No question presses more quietly and more relentlessly than the question of death. People can postpone discussions about origins, avoid debates about morality, and sidestep the questions of meaning. But death is not theoretical. It intrudes, it interrupts, it demands attention, whether invited or not. Every belief system must answer the question of destiny. What happens when life ends? Is death a doorway, a transition, or a conclusion? Does anything remain? Does anything matter beyond the grave? How a belief system answers this question shapes everything else. Destiny determines urgency. Eternity defines significance. Accountability gives weight to choice. Modern culture works hard to soften death. It euphemizes, sanitized, and delayed as long as possible. We speak of passing, moving on, or celebrating life. These efforts are understandable, but they do not remove the problem, they reveal it. If death is truly natural and final, it would not trouble us so deeply. We would accept it as easily as sleep. Instead, death feels intrusive, wrong, and unfinished. Even those who deny eternity often grieve as though something has been stolen. This reaction exposes a truth many belief systems struggle to explain. Human beings are not wired to accept non existence. The longing for permanence is not a cultural accident, it is universal. A belief system must explain not only death itself, but our refusal to accept it as final. Naturalistic belief systems answer the question of destiny with finality. Consciousness ends, identity dissolves, personal existence ceases, the universe continues without notice. This conclusion is presented as honest realism, but it comes at a cost. If death ends everything, then justice is incomplete. Evil often goes unpunished. Sacrifice may be wasted. Love becomes temporary. Chemistry, suffering, uh, 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 suffering gains no final explanation. Some respond with stoicism, others with distraction. Many simply avoid the subject, but avoidance does not make the conclusion less severe. A belief system that ends in nothing must explain why humans continue to live as though something more is at stake. Despite repeated claims that death is final, people live as though their choices echo beyond the moment. We speak of legacies, we honor sacrifice, we condemn crimes long after perpetrators die, we build memorials, we tell stories. These behaviors reveal an assumption that life matters beyond the lifespan. Even in closed universe systems, eternity keeps sneaking back in through the language of meaning and remembrance. This contradiction cannot be resolved by denial. It points to something deeper. Humanity senses that death is not the end, even when belief systems insist that it is. Religious systems often acknowledge life beyond death, but they struggle to provide clarity. Destiny is described vaguely or conditionally. Judgment may occur, but standards are unclear. Assurance is rare. Fear and hope exist side by side. In many religious frameworks, destiny depends on performance. Salvation is gradual, outcome is uncertain. Final accounting remains unknowable until it happens. Now, this uncertainty maintains control but undermines peace. People are left striving without rest, hoping without confidence, believing without assurance. Religion acknowledges eternity but cannot secure it. Biblical faith approaches destiny differently. It does not speculate, it declares. Death is real, but it is not final. Judgment is coming, but it is not arbitrary. Eternity exists, and it is personal. Scripture presents death as separation, not annihilation. Physical death separates body and soul. Eternal destiny involves conscious existence, either in fellowship with God or in separation from Him. Now, this clarity is unsettling to many precisely because it is clear. There's no room for reinterpretation. Destiny is not self determined, it is revealed. One of the strongest arguments for eternal destiny is justice. Human courts are limited. Many wrongs go unpunished. Many victims receive no restitution. If death ends everything, well, justice is never completed. Biblical faith affirms that justice is not forgotten. Accountability does not expire with death. Eternity ensures that righteousness is vindicated and evil is judged. This belief explains why humans instinctively cry out for justice. The longing for accountability reflects an awareness that this life is not the final courtroom. A belief system that denies final justice must explain why injustice feels intolerable. Destiny is not only about judgment, it's also about hope. Biblical faith does not offer vague continuation or impersonal absorption, it offers resurrection, life restored, not erased. The resurrection of Christ stands as the anchor of this hope. Destiny is not wishful thinking, it's grounded in history. Death has been confronted and it's been defeated. This hope transforms how life is lived. Suffering is not meaningless, loss is not permanent, faith is not wasted, obedience is not pointless. A belief system that offers no hope beyond death cannot sustain courage in the face of suffering. If eternity exists, then life is not a closed chapter, but a preface. Choices matter beyond convenience, truth carries weight beyond consensus. Morality gains urgency. If eternity does not exist, then urgency fades, meaning collapses into preference, morality becomes temporary, legacy becomes illusion. Destiny is not a secondary doctrine, it determines the seriousness of life itself. And this is why belief systems work so hard to redefine or deny it. Eternity removes human control, it confronts autonomy, it demands humility. Much resistance to eternal destiny is not intellectual, but it's moral. Eternity implies accountability, and accountability implies judgment, and judgment implies authority. It's easier to deny destiny than to submit to it. It's easier to redefine death than to face it honestly. But denial does not remove reality. It only postpones reckoning. Interestingly, even those who deny eternal destiny often live as though it exists. They seek significance, they pursue justice, they fear death, they hope to be remembered. These behaviors reveal that destiny is not merely a doctrine, it's an intuition. Human beings live as though their lives are part of a larger story. Biblical faith explains that intuition. It declares that eternity is not imagined, it is promised. At this point in the discussion, belief systems have been examined at their most critical points: authority, morality, and destiny. The question that remains is not academic, it's personal. If biblical faith is true, then eternity is not optional. If the resurrection is real, then destiny is settled by response to truth. If God has spoken, then silence is not neutrality. In the final chapter, we're going to look at the central question raised at the beginning of the book, which is who decides the truth? And we're going to consider what must be done with what has been revealed. Because death does not end the question, it answers it. All right, that is the reading of chapter 9 of my book, Belief Systems: Who Decides the Truth? the reading chapter. Now I've got one more chapter to read, and I think I've got an epilogue as well. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but that it concludes that. I really don't have a ton of time today. I've got some things. We're getting ready to make a trip. My grandson is graduating from Police Academy tomorrow. And so we're going to be heading over there to be a part of and witness and watch him as he graduates. And so we've got that going on. Tomorrow, and that means that today we're going to have to do some preparing, get things ready for that trip. And so I don't have a lot of time here to spend, but I do say, well, welcome back, immortal beloved. Welcome back to the channel. Remedios Adventuna, whatever, I can't pronounce that, but thank you for coming on, saying hi. Looks like I've just got, I know there was a high of probably about 20, I think I saw, and then nothing right now. But I do want to thank each of you for coming on and watching today. God bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you, be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.